Well, we got to the part that we were desperately trying to get to for the NXT title. It's a three-way, but we like all three of them. Ciampa and Dolph Ziggler and Break Steiner. And this is what I wanted to see all along. I don't want to miss Steiner. Ciampa and Ziggler have been fantastic, but we've just described the rest of this program. And guess what time the bell rang to start this match? 8 minutes till 10 Eastern. Even with an overrun, they were going to have under 15 minutes to get in and get out with breaks. I'm like, all right. They started out fast, and it's a three-way, so you can't really say that the match makes a ton of sense, but Steiner stayed with it, except there was one fucking hilarious bobble that reminded me of his dad. And otherwise, you know, the kid, has he had 20 matches now? And he's in there with Ziggler, who's a 20-year veteran, and Ciampa, who's almost and is fucking impeccable, and he don't look out of place. And did you the double vertical suplex? Did you see that? I've seen people kind of do a half-ass version of that before, but I've never seen one guy just stand up under both guys and just take them. And poor Dolph almost went a little bit too quick, but it's not supposed to look pretty when it's something like that. Then at one point, actually, Ziggler and Ciampa got a spot slightly crossed. They did something, I can't remember what it was. It didn't make a lot of sense, and Steiner just came in and leveled Ziggler with a clothesline, so he actually saved him. And then it went to the break. There's no story in this, but everybody was serious, and the shit looked good, and they were taking time to sell most of it. And then, did you see the one part where poor old Steiner got ahead of himself, and it was fucking hilarious, and all I could do was think of his dad.
I thought you were going to talk about this before when you said that he got started too early, but yeah.
Well, yeah, you know, so it was after the break. Ciampa picks Ziggler up for a power bomb. And as he's got him up for the power bomb, suddenly, because Steiner has been down, but suddenly you see Steiner jump up and dive head first straight past Ciampa and Ziggler and land on his face and then just roll out on the other side of the ring selling. I'm like, what in the French fried titty fuck did he just do? And then I realized, the aha moment came. Ciampa had power bombed Ziggler on that after Steiner did the drive-by. And then Ciampa went for his pedigree. What is the fairy tale ending thing or whatever? And Steiner speared him. Steiner saw the power bomb, thought it was the pedigree, goes to fucking spear Ciampa like he thinks he's supposed to, realizes in midair and just dives right past him and just says, fuck it, I'll just roll out. I can see Rick Steiner in the bumps that this guy takes, and in just Steiner didn't make a lot of mistakes when he was starting either, but when he did, it was spectacular and hilarious, and you laughed about it afterwards, and then he'd come back and just mow everybody down and make up for it. And then finally, Steiner hit his finish on Ziggler, but Rude pulled his leg.
No, he pulled his ass out of his pants.
No, that was next.
Oh.
Remember, he pulled the leg first on the finish that he hit. And then that gave Ciampa the chance to hit the Widow's Bell and the fairy tale ending, got a big 2 count. Ziggler was able to make save in the nick of time. And then Ciampa's shit-canned Ziggler, and Steiner had taken the Widow's Bell and the fairy tale ending, and he's getting up. And as Ciampa goes for the running knee, that's when Rude reached in and was going to pull Steiner out, and Ciampa would hit the buckle instead as he charged past. There's nobody there. The only thing that Rude could grab was the back waistband of Steiner's tights, and when he pulled, the full moon came out over Florida. He almost pantsed him. His whole ass came out. But the funny part was, again, it reminds me of Rick Steiner when he pulled Steiner out He just went backwards, head first, down to the mat or to the ground outside, upside down, in one of those crazy bumps that Rick Steiner used to take when he was the same age as his son, because they were almost indestructible, and it didn't hurt him. It looked dangerous. That's how Rick Steiner got over, is his shit looked so real because he worked completely differently from anybody else. And on offense, he was so powerful, you bought it. And on defense, the bumps were so unorthodox and looked like it should hurt you that you can, and his son's doing the same thing. So anyway, Rude snatches Steiner out where Ciampa runs into the turnbuckles, and then Ziggler hits the super kick on Ciampa, 1, 2, 3. What a fucking finish. And it was boom, 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 just like that. Shit was happening. Everybody was in place, and now Ziggler is the new NXT champion, but Steiner has still never been defeated. So that's well worth watching. But the rest of it is a slog to get there. What'd you think of the main event, the only event on this program?
Great action. It's sad that it took a move to NXT to get some great work out of Dolph Ziggler. Not that he isn't always good, but he seems to be really into what he's doing, and how can he not be? He's actually getting a push somewhere. These 4 guys are great. I mean, it's kind of like the problems we say about AEW. You have the tone of a Punk and an MJF, and then the rest of the show. You have the tone of these main eventers, and then there's the rest of the show that they fill up the card with. It doesn't make it so that you want to stay to see these guys. I'm glad Ciampa's still in the main event mix. I'm surprised that he's still there, but they're using him well. He's been on Raw too. And we'll see what happens. They got the belt off Steiner or Bron Breakker. What do they do now?
Well, I mean, I can see where they're going, in that Ziggler and Rude are the 2 best guys on the Raw roster to train and or give in-ring experience to younger guys, more inexperienced guys. Ciampa doesn't need it, but Steiner does to work with guys like that. It'll just get him better that much quicker. So those are the 2 perfect guys to do it, but it would have been nice if they'd have recognized their legitimate talent a while back and not had them floating around where, oh yeah, we'll just send them over to NXT. They don't get 5 minutes on Raw anyway. But they got to feature people in their pajamas rather than Rude and Ziggler.